Morning, class. As you remember, yesterday we talked about cells. Remember, cells are the basic building blocks of all units of life. Everything that is alive is made of cells. Most have billions and billions. Now the cell is made of smaller parts called organelles that help the cell survive. Today, we're talking about plant cells, and there are the same 5 major parts of an animal cell plus 2 new major organelles, which we're going to speak today. First is the same as a plant cell, the cell membrane. This protects the cell from the outside. Like our skin. Our skin protects dirt and nasty bacteria from getting into our organs and damaging them, but allows us to sweat out toxins and things that we don't want in our bodies. The membrane does the exact same. It keeps unwanted things from entering and allows potentially harmful things to exit. It's kind of like a security guard. Now, class, this is our first different organelle we do not have in an animal cell, but is present in a plant cell. This is the cell wall. Now, the cell wall, just like the cell membrane, also protects the cell from the outside. Plant cells basically have 2 layers of protection from the outside, kind of like how we have our bones, our skeletons, and our skin. If we didn't have skin at all, just bones, we'd still be protected from some things, right? Our bones protect our organs from big things getting in and damaging them, like big rocks or things that could crush them, stuff like that. That's what the cell wall does. Now remember, what we said the cell membrane is like? It's like our skin, right? It's the little small things that could be harmful from getting in, while still allowing the little small things that need to get out to do so. That relationship between the skin and the bones is just like the relationship between the membrane and the cell wall. Think of it like 2 differently sized strainers. One stops big things from getting in, and one stops the small things from getting in. Now the nucleus controls everything in the cell, just like our brain. Just like our brain sends signals to the rest of our body, the nucleus sends signals to the rest of the cell. This is the same as in an animal cell. Every cell is going to have one nucleus, and it's always going to perform the same function. The mitochondria are also in animal cells. These are in both plant and animal cells. They still provide power for the cell. Any energy or any power that the cell creates or the cell harnesses is done in the mitochondria. Vacuoles. Now these are both in plant and animal cells too, but there is a difference with vacuoles. Vacuoles store food and water for the cell, as we talked about yesterday. Now, while animal cells might have many vacuoles, plant cells generally have 1 or 2 really large vacuoles. Like we talked about yesterday, they're kind of like our stomachs, right? When plants take in water and their forms of food, not like our food, but their own forms of food, they are stored here, just like they are stored in our stomach. The cytoplasm. This is also in plant and animal cells. We talked yesterday about how our bodies are made up of over 60% of water. Well, just like our organs and our organelles need things to float in, of cells' organelles need things to float in also. It's a jelly-like fluid in which organelles float. Now, class, this is the last organelle that is present in a plant cell that is not present in an animal cell. Plants also have something called chloroplast. That's what this is right here. This is the chloroplast. What do you think would happen if you left a plant in the dark? You ever seen a plant that didn't get enough sunlight and saw how it withered and died? Did you know that all plants need sunlight to live? Well, the chloroplast is exactly what absorbs the sunlight in a plant cell. That's what harnesses that sunlight so the plant can then convert it to energy later on. It converts the sunlight into something that helps that cell convert its food into its own form of energy.